Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be discussing some chart setups that I think are absolutely bullish and setting up for either a breakout surge to the upside, a massive dead cat bounce, or potentially starting a new trending rally. Some of the hottest stocks, we are seeing some crazy moves across the board in the stock market. There is so much liquidity being pumped into this market. You're seeing stocks up 20%, 30%, 40%, and even higher. I'm looking at this Tesla chart and I think that there's a couple reasons to be bullish. First things first, we're potentially setting up a rather large daily chart inverse head and shoulders. Everyone knows Tesla has lagged this entire market, so maybe, just maybe, with the US 2-year yield running into a little bit of resistance and getting rejected, it is time for rate sensitive stocks to potentially catch a bid. Now, in the near term, this pattern has not triggered for Tesla, but it does look like it wants to at least test this 340 area. I'm already long Tesla in some 340 call options for that September 19th area. I do like the fact that we got another bullish candle close back above this gap fill. I think at the minimum, Tesla is going to test this neckline area to see if it breaks out of this rather large inverse head and shoulders. If it breaks out of this inverse head and shoulders, we got a couple higher upside targets, 407 and 435 on the chart. It also just so happens to coincide with this beautiful parallel channel where Tesla's bounced once, twice, 3 times off of this key support zone. Another one that I think is due for another continuation move to the higher is a Brazilian stock named StoneCo. This is a little bit more of an aggressive level to go long off of, but STNE has triggered an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly chart. It's had a multi-week pullback on the back of China, or on the back of Trump slapping tariffs on Brazil. This is a Brazilian equity. Nonetheless, I do think that this is still in a very strong uptrend, getting a lovely little retrace. You are hitting and trying to test this key 50 moving average. Last time we pulled back was really over here, and StoneCo didn't end up kissing the 50 moving average and ended up propelling to the upside. I think that this one does have some upside left in the tank. Now, some high speculative investments that I caution you to trade. I'm long LAZR. I think that this LiDAR play is going to catch a bit of a run as these electric vehicles and self-driving vehicle trends take place. You've seen a lot of cyber taxi news. You've seen a lot of partnerships with Baidu and Uber for driverless taxis. You've seen Waymo making headlines. I think LAZR, it's a high short interest name. If it can hold kind of this double bottom zone here, this is another one that could absolutely squeeze to the upside. Now, this is a name that you do not put much size in because it can have these drastic moves to the upside. We're talking a very speculative play here in Luminar Technologies, ticker LAZR. Market cap is only 144 million. That means that it could absolutely fall even another 20 to 40%, or it could pop up in your face. Very aggressive plays. Now, right now we're seeing some interesting trends in the crypto space. Solana is seeing a bit of a capital rotation. It's trying to take a bit of leadership, breaking out of a daily chart bull flag. I think Solana at the very minimum is probably going to take out these pivots here in the coming session. So that being said, looking at some equities that have a bit of exposure to Solana, one ticker that we are now trading on the long side. Again, very risky. KIDZ. I do not recommend anyone go in with full size. Be prepared to lose what you are putting in this trade. I'm writing some lotto $5 call options. We're sitting right on a massive volume shelf here, trying to trade above it, and I have now entered long off of this 345 area. So those are just a couple interesting names that I do think can start to run in the near term. Again, I'm entering these trades. Obviously, Tesla's not as risky as some of these, but it does have some massive volatility. But the previous names that I mentioned, just be very careful if you're looking to go along some of those higher speculative investment trades. Now, a couple other things that I want to mention. Natural gas here. I haven't touched base. Well, I've done a little bit of work on natural gas, but natural gas is continuing to push through these key moving averages. Take a look at the daily 250 moving average here. You're through the 200. You're looking to tap that 50. There's a ton of resistance there. The intraday chart is looking very good, but I have fully exited my EQT call options that we took down here. EQT had this massive punch to the upside. It could be putting in a little bit of potential intraday bearish formation. I am now in some put options on EQT, although I'm still holding a long in the natural gas via UNG. So we're kind of hedging again these longs with a little bit of a downside play on EQT. But we have absolutely been spot on with some of these natural gas plays, from going long AR at the lows here, hitting our target, exiting our call options from making almost 100% on EQT, exiting these call options after buying this falling wedge pattern. There is a whole host of volatility and opportunity as we progress in this market. Another ticker that I actually went long in the day trade room today was MRVL. I ended up closing this position, but this is into a very interesting swing trade level. You can see it backtested the 50-day moving average today. This ticker could also be poised to push higher in the near term. So this is one that I'm also keeping my eye on very, very closely, although I do not hold any position at this moment, but I am looking at potentially buying a retrace of this topping tail. Today, one of the leading semiconductors, ASML, got absolutely slaughtered to the downside, closing down 8.3%, but it did pierce and bounce off of these lows quite significantly. This is a household name. They're giving a bit of poor guidance into 2026, which is why they are gapping down on earnings. Some of other names that are reporting after the bell here. LVS, I'm not too sure what this is doing after the bell, but I'm not really getting any after hours prints. Let's look at Alcoa. AA is another one that's gapping up slightly. Let's see what else we got on for the earnings deck. We got UAL. UAL under a little bit of pressure here. Kinder Morgan, KMI is the ticker. Let's run through this chart. That one's really not seeing anything. I think the big one that we have to watch tomorrow is going to be your Taiwan Semiconductor. So Taiwan Semi is set to report earnings tomorrow. It is trading into the stratosphere here, basically charging for new all-time highs, trading alongside Nvidia. This one does appear like it can have a little bit more momentum, but if it were to pop into this area, it becomes a short zone. So I'm not chasing Taiwan Semi, but nevertheless, earnings will be on watch. This is a behemoth in the semiconductor space, almost pushing and trying to get to that $1 trillion market cap. It almost makes me think, with the strength you've seen in Nvidia, AMD, couple other semis, this name is probably going to tap that $1 trillion market cap on earnings, and we'll see if it becomes a buy the rumor, sell the news. Please give this video a like down below, and we'll see you on the charts a little later.